You are now listening to the Highly Evolved Podcast. You can find this channel on Twitter, Gab.ai, BitChute, and Minds.com. This is a Real American Patriot channel for Real American Patriots. If you're not a Real American Patriot, please exit the channel. Furthermore, we are not sponsored by any outside interference. That means we're unscripted, unrehearsed, and unedited. With that being said, transmission will commence momentarily.
How you guys doing? This is the HighlyEvolvedPodcast. Podcast. I'm your host, Safan. Follow me on Minds, BitChute, Twitter, and Gap.com. And most importantly, like, share, subscribe on YouTube because we're riding it until the wheel fall off. All right, on that note, guys, let's start the show. In this episode, I want to talk about what's going on in the news lately about reparations. All right, reparations. So I guess Congress have a meeting about people ideas on reparation, and this is an article from Breitbart regarding a very known figure in the sports world named, I think, Jason Whitlock. He's from FS1 and something Whitlock, right? What's his name? Jason Whitlock, right? He's on the show Speak for Yourself on FS1, right? And he has something to say about these reparations, especially with Cory Booker and Danny Glover. You don't know Danny Glover? Danny Glover is a socialist. All right, he went to Cuba and try make it as a good thing, right? And Cory Booker, I'm not even sure he's African American at all. I'm not even sure this brother is too light skinned. All right, but let's read the article together. All right, let me pull this up for you guys. If you guys hear some noise in the background, that's my fan. It's kind of hot right now, so I apologize in advance. But let me put this up for you guys. Let's read this article. This article is from Breitbart. I'll leave a link in the description, as always. All right, here you go. FS1, Jason Whitlock called Cory Booker and Danny Glover useful idiots for reparation testimony. All right. Fox Sport 1 host Jason Whitlock feel those who testified before Congress demanding slave reparation are clowns and useful idiots, right? Look, I don't agree with most of Jason Whitlock. He's very knowledgeable when it comes to sport, right? He's very knowledgeable in a certain area. There's some stuff I agree with, some stuff I don't agree with, right? But in this one incident, this comment, I totally agree what he's saying right now, right? Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey, right? This Cory Booker, he's not even never lived in the ghetto. He was brought up in the suburb, right? He don't have the same experience as a regular African American that's from the hood. I live in the hood all my life. I know what it's like. All right, I've been there. I went to public school on welfare. Did not like it. Was glad that I was out of it. Right, bust my butt to get an education and all this stuff. Right, but Cory Booker, I think he was living with a silver spoon in his mouth. He was very privileged. Right. For a person with hue, right? But I digress. Let's carry on. And actor Danny Glover, a socialist, communist Danny Glover, were among the individual who testified before Congress on June 19, calling for black receive financial reparations for American slave posts. What are they talking about? Who is getting these reparations? Regular African American? They hadn't experienced any slave situation, right? All the people who experienced slavery are all dead, right? They have not experienced slavery at all, and they want some kind of restitution, some reparation. It's ridiculous. And who are they demanding from? What if I'm Asian and I'm not have nothing to do with this slavery? Am I being punished? It doesn't make any sense, all right? So I'm gonna get taxed more, all right? If I have nothing to do with it, I'm a person of Oriental descent. All right, am I required to pay reparation as well? It's so unclear, right? Booker said America has yet truly acknowledged a grapple with the racism and white supremacy and tainted this country, funding in the country who caused persistence and deep racial disparity and equality of stain of slavery and not just linked to bloodshed, but policy that disadvantaged African American generation. Listen here, Booker, whatever your name is. White folks is not the only one that make legislative as well, right? There's other races out there who's member of Congress who made legislative that you could call quote unquote disadvantage to a person of color. All right, it's not just Caucasian people. This guy don't understand it. He don't see how dynamic the situation is, and the situation is not easy to solve. 5 acre, the mule should have been taken care of a long time ago. All right, these people have no what to say. They want prop up African American people. Let me say black Americans as a victim, right? Perpetuating this victimhood. All right, come on, guys. If you call yourself a victim, you will never lift up from oppressions. You always be oppressed if you call yourself a victim. All right? Oh, he's oppressing me. You know what? If you just stop calling yourself a victim, you won't be oppressed. That's what the Democrats do. They oppress people, calling them victims because they can tell you that you're nothing more than a victim. All right? But let's finish the article. Whitlock, who is black, had some harsh words on Twitter for Booker and Glover and the others to testify, including Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee of Texas, another Tanisha Coates. Whitlock described the group as useful. It is executed a final plan for 60 years of Marxism strategy to move from America's latest race problem, right? Before, in the 1960s, African American, let me say, I'm trying to stop it. Black American did not like communism at all. It wasn't a popular idea. All right? In the 60s, 40s, 50s, Black American did not like communism. This communism devoid of religion. It's an atheist practice. So why are you going to tell a group of people like the black community, they're very spiritual, very religious, tell them that they have to follow communism and totally contradict everything they believe in? That's why. That's why communism is so prominent today, because people they don't have any more values, right? Demoralized. When people demoralize, they don't have no faith in God. When people have no faith in God, they fall into this victimhood. When they fall into this victimhood, they want to be communists to get handouts. All right, let's continue. 6-year marks its latest problem. Modern-day peace treaty will eventually marginalize us, same as Native American. When the debt is paid, country has emotional resolve to move on, right? So exactly, that's one point. Okay, when do we know when it's paid off? How much are we paying? When is it going to be paid off? And if we do pay it off, what's the situation going to be like? Are we going to pay for more? Are they satisfied? When is the point of satisfaction reached? That's what it is. Right? We gave them welfare and they're still not satisfied. We gave them food stamps, they're not satisfied. These people, right? Glover said, a national reparation policy is a moral and democratic and economic imperative. This guy's an actor, right? Why would you listen to an actor? I sit here as a great-grandson of a former slave, Mary Brown, who was freed by the Emancipation Proclamation on January 1st, 1863. I had a fortune to meet her as a small child. Despite much progress over the last century, this hearing is yet another important step to long and heroic struggle of African Americans to cure damage inflicted by enslavement, post-emancipation, and forced racial exclusionary policy. Okay, but what's that got to do with you? Were you enslaved? All the people you're talking about are dead right now. How are you supposed to pay them? Pay to their offspring? But the offspring wasn't even slave. They never experienced slavery before. All right, Whitlock also tweet, Coates and the clown testifying before Congress are all either self-appointed, exactly. They were handpicked to put in the positions of handlers. By handlers, exactly. These people were picked. They didn't voluntarily do this. They took no responsibility for what comes after. All these people got handlers. Cory Booker, Danny Glover. One of Whitlock followers took umbrage. I can't pronounce that. Umbrage with the sportcaster calling Glover a clown. Whitlock responded, Danny Glover is an actor. Actor. That's what he is. He's an actor. He's acting in front of his people. He tried to use all these words to evoke a emotional response. Right? He know that people are very weak to emotions. That's why all the word they pick is very geared towards emotion, evoke emotion. That's what all these actors do. They pick the words. They don't pick words that describe the fact. They pick the word that triggered his emotional response. Right? One of the following response, Whitlock is a TV host. Whitlock fired back. That's why I tweeted and did not That's why I tweet and do not have the interest in speaking to Congress. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell opposed reparation. I would be hard to figure out what's to compensate, McConnell said. No one currently alive was responsible for that. Exactly, they're all dead. One of Whitlock followers claimed to say that he doesn't think that reparation would pass. All right, that's a tweet. I'm not going to read the tweet. Another Whitlock followers believe reparation is more harm than good. Of course it does. It's divisive. All right, it's basically a tax on white people. That's what it is. Reparation is a tax on white. It's a tax on being white. And if you're a liberal, guess what? If it passes, it's a tax on you. Because you're white. Your white guilt wouldn't get you into this kind of trouble. All right? But let's get back to a regular view. Like I said, I'm not for reparation. It's very divisive. It's a divisive topic. All right? Who to say who get what? These kids, these spoiled kids right now, they never experienced slavery in their life. How would they what? It's just a free ride. All right? This is just a way to get votes. This is a way for Democrats to get votes. Cory Booker is a liar snake. All right? He never experienced living in poverty. This guy went to Ivy League school. He went to Stanford. All right? He never experienced living in the ghetto. He never experienced hard life. He was never in that situation. All right? He was never in that situation. How will you know? All right? This guy can't connect with regular black folks. He's not even that hue. He's not even that dark. It's ridiculous. All right? There's one thing I agree with Jason Whitlock, right? This whole thing about reparations gone out of hand. The first time I heard about reparation, I'm being honest. The first time I heard about reparation is what 2003 when Dave Chappelle came out and have a show about reparation. That's the first time I ever heard about reparation, and I know from there on it's gonna go down here from there. People are gonna use that so much because that Dave Chappelle, that show imprinted this reparation in the subconscious of America, and it was a very big show. And because ever since that happened, everybody had that reparation in mind. They think it's a fairy tale. It's not a fairy tale. All right, it's going to bankrupt the economy, divide the people even more, right? And it's unfair, injustice, it's unconstitutional, right? If they want reparation, this should have been done a long time ago with Andrew Jackson. And he's a Democrat. All right. But I digress. I'm not for reparation. I think it's divisive. I think it's the wrong way to go about. Some of these people are never experienced slavery, and blacks are not the only slave out there. All right? I'm sorry, black folks. All right? I got to be harsh with you, honest with you. But there's other races that was enslaved. All right? White folks are enslaved. You want to say it's a denture slave, chattel slavery. It's still slavery. All right? Chinese were slave. Jewish were slave. A lot of ethnic minority were slave. The Mayan was slave. The Inca was enslaved. All right, by the Spaniards. Jesus. Don't call yourself a victim. You should not be a victim. If you call yourself a victim, you'll be a perpetual victim for your life, for the rest of your life. All right, you will be oppressed all your life. But I don't know. Let me know you agree. Leave a comment below. All right, like, share, subscribe. All right, because what I'm saying, Google, YouTube don't want to monetize my channel. They gave me a copyright strike. All right, that's why I gotta play the new music. They gave me a copyright strike, so I gotta find something else to do another intro. But because I'm not bound by YouTube, I'm unscripted, unrehearsed, unedited. I mean, I can say what I want, what I be bound by any outside interference. Okay, that means I'm not taking any donation and doing this practically for free. The point is to get people to think. All right, you don't have to think the same as me. You don't have to agree with me, but just think differently from the herd. All right, don't be a group thinker. A group thinker will lead you off the cliff like a bunch of sheep. That's what it is. The point of this video, the point of the channel is try to get people not to be group thinkers. All right, but one thing you can do if you like what I'm saying, you can like, share, subscribe on YouTube. All right, because when you subscribe on YouTube, it encourages me to make more videos. When I make more videos, I saturate YouTube algorithm. When I saturate YouTube algorithm, my video will be more available to a mass audience. And when it's available to a mass audience, I might lit a fire and get people to think. All right, that's the point. I want to get people to think. But I know your time is very precious. I try not to waste any of your time. Thank you for listening. My name's Stefan. This is the HighlyEvolvedPodcast. Like, share, subscribe. I don't know, guys. I'm signing out. Peace.